Brian's Beat.
Hello.
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Brian.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, short of mental illness, I don't think there's any changes that could or should be made. It's written that the government's not to turn its weapons on its own people. To make statements like to say that we're outgunned by the government, so therefore there's no need to have personal caches or personal, semi-automatic weapon possession. I mean, is that you're implying that the government's going to use weapons of mass destruction on its own people? It would have to be done hand to hand or on a lower level. The government couldn't come after the people with weapons like that.
I took it out not for that reason, but I would say this, that any group, I've known the New England chapter of the militia for quite some time, and they get lambasted for being the people that they are.
Oh, yeah.
So these militia groups are trying to stay low-key. They're labeled racist. And I don't know if you know it, but at the time, the leader was a black guy. We're talking about the Second Amendment to the Constitution. How would you change it? Hello.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think you can. I mean, it's great to talk about gun control, but I'm sure the men and well, I shouldn't say men, there's some women in Congress. I'm sure they have guns, and they're not going to give them up, and that's where we would have to go to change this law. So, but anyway, it's not like the British are coming house to house like they did back then and killing everybody. So the less guns that are around, the less killings there'll be.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with the less guns, the less killings. I'm more apt to believe the more guns, the less killings, because the bad people with the guns aren't likely to shoot at somebody if they know that you also have a gun and may be able to take them out first. Just a thought process that's been proven by the statistics. Hello.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, it's John, J&S Guns in Amahonia.
Hey, man, how you doing? What's your take on this?
Just a couple of questions to throw out there, and first off, I thank you for this discussion. It's really, really nice to see some radio stations and people that are just definitely interested in talking about this. But my question is, what constitutes an arsenal? See, that's the first question we have to ask. Who's going to decide how many firearms are going to constitute an arsenal?
Good point. I think what the caller that brought it up originally, if you have more than one semi-automatic weapon, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. Let us continue on Brian's Beat. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm a registered and licensed gun owner also in Massachusetts. I think the problem with the amendment is that different states do have rights to different things. It's very hard to get a handgun license in Massachusetts. They do a thorough background check to make sure that you're mentally stable. Even though I'm a licensed owner, I'm not the crazy guy down to own a weapon. If somebody mentally unstable goes to renew their license, it shows up in the background check, and they suspend the license and revoke it and take the gun.
Only because your phone keeps blipping in and out. I'm going to let you slide for right now, but I do appreciate your call. Mexico. Boy, it was interesting looking this stuff up. The right to keep and bear arms was first recognized as a constitutional right under Article 10 of the Mexican Constitution of 1857. Mexican Constitution of 1857. However, as part of the Mexican Constitution of 1917, Article 10 was changed, whereby the right to keep and bear arms was given two separate definitions: the right to keep and the right to bear. The new version of Article 10 specified that citizens were entitled to keep, in other words, own them, but may only bear them, which is carry them, among the population in accordance to police regulation. This modification to Article 10 also introduced the so-called arms for exclusive use of the military. 1971, Article 10 of the present Constitution was changed to limit the right to keep arms within the home only and reserve the right to bear arms outside the home only to those explicitly authorized by law. and gave the federal government complete jurisdiction and control to the legal proliferation of firearms in the country. So, if you thought the gun laws in Canada were just a little wacky, what about Mexico?
Brian's Beat.